Welcome everybody to look at the latest release from Eureka via the Masters of Cinema series, and it is 1964's Wolves, Pigs and Men. So this is directed by Kinji Fukasaku, who I've seen 11 other films from so far, but two releases so far this year have been also directed by him. Likes of Sympathy for the Underdog, which was released by Radiance Films, and Message from Space, which was also released from Eureka. So this is a crime film clocking in at 95 minutes long. Stars the likes of Ken Takakura, who was also in the likes of The Bullet Train, Golgo 13, as well as The Yakuza and A Fugitive from the Past. Those last two are probably my favourites from him. So it's about Kuroku, Jiro, and Sabu, who are three brothers born into poverty. Kuroki is the eldest, finds an escape from this squalid beginnings by turning into organised crime, and soon both of his other brothers have followed him into the Yakuza lifestyle. But none of his brothers see eye to eye, each of them showing more loyalty to their criminal comrades than to their siblings. Following a stint in prison, Jiro convinces Sabu to help him pull off a potentially lucrative heist, around 40 million yen, leading to a series of betrayals and horrifically violent acts that will test the bonds of blood to their breaking point. So even though this starts off relatively typical of the crime genre, you see the poverty that they come from. There's a slight stint in jail, although you don't see any actual parts in jail, thankfully, because I think that would have slowed things down a lot more. And then the heist takes place, heist robbery, and then we get the after effects of all of that, which are really rather quite horrific, to be honest. Yeah, once the robbery does occur, the plot and character interactions both become a lot darker and way more violent to make for an engrossing and uncompromising effort. The cast is also great. It is well paced. The black and white cinematography is excellent. The violence is well executed. It's got some really rather gory moments to it. It comes across a lot more like something from the 70s and the 60s. It has its tense moments. The plot is thematically weighty, and the ending, though inevitable given the preceding events, is nonetheless still effectively done. So yeah, a really, really good effort, to be honest. 4 out of 5. Not my favourite from Fukasaku, but neither is it far from his worst. And yeah, we've got a really rather nice new artwork on this as well, by Gregory Sacre. So I really do like the new artwork. I like the greens and the blacks. Kind of reminds me of Fukasaki's other film, The Green Slime, in that regard, in terms of that colour palette. And yeah, inside we've got the printed disc and a booklet to go alongside it. No reversible artwork though with this one, so I'm not sure whether or not they couldn't get a hold of the original artwork, or for some reason they just weren't able to use it. Inside the booklet though, we've got your cast and your crew, and the write-up inside is A Beast with Bite, Kinji Fukasaku's Early Yakuza Cinema and Wolves and Pigs and Men, by Joe Hickenbottom. So yeah, does contain spoilers in that write-up, by the way. So I advise watching the film first before actually before actually reading this. And yeah, it's presented in the 2:35:1 aspect ratio. So if you need to change your TV, then you may well need to if it's not suitable for widescreen. And yeah, on the disc itself, we have the following extras. So we've got a 1080p HD presentation on Blu-ray from a restoration of the original film elements supplied by Toei. The presentation looks great. The picture looks really great. The sound quality is top notch. There's no real issues there. Original Japanese audio track, uncompressed LPCM mono. Audio commentary track by Jasper Sharp. Socially aware violence interview with screenwriter Junya Sato. Some Stars and Studios interview with producer Tori Yoshida, and then a 2017 interview with Kinji Fukasaku's biographer Saido Yamane, and then the original theatrical trailer and the booklet and the new artwork, as I've said already. So yeah, overall a really, really great release, to be honest. Fantastic film, although like I said, the relatively typical start that it has at the beginning does somewhat, not get across that it's going to turn into something better, but some films do need to start off a bit more ordinary to lull you into a false sense of security into getting into the rest of the film. But I wish it was as thrilling and as tense and as violent and as thematically weighty at the beginning as it was throughout the rest of the film. As yeah, it does feel, like I said, a little bit on the ordinary side. Although there are some themes at the beginning, like I said, poverty and trying to get out of the post-war, Japan, era into and get into the whole boom market that was going around in the 60s in Japan. But obviously, a lot of people were still left behind from World War II, and obviously these three brothers were part of that. So you can fully see why they would get into crime, but then there's getting into crime, and then there's committing the kind of violent acts that are committed in this film in the second half. So yeah, but overall, a really rather great effort and another really fantastic release from Eureka, and another fantastic Japanese release on Blu-ray so far this year, which we've had obviously plenty of, and hopefully there'll be some more to come. Nonetheless, so if you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.